Are you a lover of tropical fragrances? If so, this is the video for you. In fact, I've got several videos lined up in this category. The first of which is going to be fragrances that for me smell like a beautiful tropical garden, the daytime edition. I have a sultry evening version of tropical fragrances that I want to talk about in a second video. And then I also have a tropical fruity fragrance video lined up. I have a fourth if you're interested only, and that is beachy scents. Are we still into beachy scents? It's a category that I think I personally am maybe moving away from, with the exception of a small handful of beauties that I just can't let go of. But I do have that lined up. I've already written the list. Let me know if you are interested in that. I don't think I'm going to do a separate coconut video this year, but I will have all of my previous videos that are tropically focused and summer focused in a playlist down below if you'd like to binge watch previous recommendations, because I still stand by those. I'm going to go ahead and get started with one that is really difficult to find because it was limited edition. I think it's beautiful enough that it's worth mentioning and seeing if you can get it on the gray market. Everything that I talk about, if I can find links for it, will be linked in the description box and in the pinned comment for you. And this is from Valentino. This one is called Donna, born in Roma. The Gold Rendezvous is the formal long name on the website. Woo, that's a mouthful, right? Three main accords that the website features: a citrus accord from a mandarin note, a beautiful middle accord of gardenia, which lends this gorgeous, creamy white floral nature, and then a base of a golden, solar, creamy coconut accord. Now, when you smell this fragrance, you probably wouldn't think to yourself, "Oh gosh, that is a coconut fragrance or it has a coconut accord." So this is really about the creamy factor here. So this is for me tropical white floral combo in a bottle. It is so thick and rich and beautiful and reminds me of, like, we have gardenias in our yard. We've got a couple of gardenia bushes. When they bloom, they have this immediate thick creaminess to them that is just the most beautiful, rich, opulent smell to die for. Like, I could sit there and like nuzzle into one of the blooms for hours on end just sniffing it. That is what I get from here. Beautiful. The mandarin or whatever the citrus accord is lends this almost like a sparkling brightness to this. And then it does smell solar, meaning it has a little bit of that summertime in the heat, like your skin heating up in the sun, kind of beautiful suntan background, way in the background. This doesn't smell like suntan or sunblock. I don't even know why I said that. Actually, remove that from the sentence, because once people hear that, they only think about sunblock. But it's something in the direction of warm skin smell, and it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know why this is limited edition. It's gotten even creamier and deeper and more sort of luscious and delectable as it has aged in my collection. I've had it for about a year. Really good, creamy, beautiful, white floral amazingness. So it's like you're walking through the tropical garden with a little bit of a coconut sunscreen that perhaps you have on your legs. You don't smell a whole lot of it, okay? And what really is wafting up is the creaminess from the florals. Beautiful fragrance. Lovely. This is long lasting too, and definitely noticed by others in the space that you're in. I don't have the next fragrance in my collection, but I would be remiss if I did not mention Lease 41 from Le Labo. I have like a little travel spray somewhere in my house. I thought I put it aside to be able to speak to from this video, and I can't find it. So anyway, this is a very expensive fragrance. The full bottle of it is. So definitely test this one out if you're interested first, but it is one of the prettiest, thickest white florals while still having some lightness and brightness to it at the same time. The main player in here is tuberose, although there are other white florals that accompany this fragrance. What I love about this fragrance, and the reason that I've considered a full bottle of it, is that it's like a white floral bouquet with some sort of sweetness and like a tropical flair to it that reminds me of tropical garden smells. Another one where, like, the botanical nature of it, like you're walking through a garden in the middle of the day, the sun is bright, it's noon, sun's overhead, and the most fragrant part of the floral experience is wafting up to your nose on these waves of warm summer heat. Tuberose is the main player here. It's called Lease 41, which makes you think of, I think, a lily flower. That's what Lease stands for. But lily is not what stands out to me. It's like a creamy tuberose mixed in with jasmine and some other types of white floral fragrances that you might find in a tropical garden. Long lasting fragrance. It has a thinness to it that I really appreciate versus like the Gold Rendezvous, which has a thickness. Lease 41 is a little bit more wispy and thin in texture, but it has that sort of solar warm background to it that leads me to think about tropical florals. One of the most beautiful ones that I have smelled, some people pick up a waxiness in this fragrance, which I find interesting. The first time that I tried it, it did smell a little bit waxy to me. The next few times that I tried it, to me, it smelled a little bit thinner and wispier and just like a beautiful garden experience on a tropical island. Beautiful fragrance. Would highly recommend testing that out if you haven't done so already. One of the truest tropical floral smells. It doesn't last the very longest. You'll get about a half a day's wear out of this. And for the price on this, it's a little bit criminal. It doesn't last longer. So, so beautiful from Chantecaille, which I know to be a makeup brand, but they have a line of fragrances as well. This one is called Frangipani. I have also Petale. I used to own Le Wild. Actually, Le Wild is up on Mercari if you're interested in it because it gets hard to find. That's linked down below. I don't think it's been purchased. It should still be out on Mercari. And I want to say I've tried one or two others from the brand. This one is probably the prettiest one to me. It for me, when you think about tropical florals, certainly robust, creamy white florals come to mind, and also florals like frangipani, which is for me like a buttery floral. Ylang-ylang, which can smell banana-esque and exotic, hibiscus, tiara. This is so beautiful. It smells very exotic, very buttery, has a touch of like an indolic nature to it, just enough so you know you're smelling florals without it smelling decaying and rotten or old-fashioned or anything of that nature. And although it's buttery, it stays a fairly light fragrance in terms of the wearing experience. It isn't overwhelming, cloying, or anything. The fragrance also has vanilla, musk, and a little amber, all of which help to give it some substance and almost like a cocooning wraparound floral experience that's also buttery at the same time. One of the most pure frangipani smells that I have come across in a long time, a favorite, fairly expensive fragrance. These really don't go on sale often. You might get sales directly from Chantecaille or one of the retailers that they work with. So you definitely have to enjoy a buttery floral smell that's tropical and exotic in nature to enjoy this. A beauty. It's interesting in the fragrance world, fragrances come and go quickly. They're in the spotlight and then they disappear after a year or two, sometimes sooner, within months. This one is about 8 years old and has stuck around and stood the test of time. And you'll see it in a lot of tropical floral fragrance videos, and with good reason. This is from Aerin. It's Hibiscus Palm. And this is that beautiful, perfect melange of yellow florals and white florals and other tropical based notes. It does have a tiny bit of a suntan lotion vibe to it, but to me, the primary players are the florals, along with a tiny bit of zestiness from a ginger note. So there's a lang hibiscus, lotus, frangipani, white flowers. The base is coconut milk, musk, and vanilla. This is pretty substantial. I mean, the thing about a tropical floral fragrance video is there's a lot of similarities between them. This one, I think, is a nice mix between the frangipani one and the gold one that I just showed you. It's got some of that sort of creamy aspect that coconut and vanilla can lend to a fragrance, alongside the exotic nature of tropical florals plus traditional white florals as well. A hint of zestiness, as I mentioned, brightness from the ginger, a little bit of spice, and everything nice. And it smells sunny resort vibes with this one. Fairly luxurious. It reads very expensive and high quality on the skin. And this one has fairly decent projection and longevity as well. So if you're looking for bang for your buck, this one, because it's a little bit older, you may be able to find on sales. Like, for example, I think Macy's sells this and they tend to have pretty decent sales on Aerin. If you're near a cosmetics company store, the outlet for the Estee Lauder brands, this is often sold and you can get a good deal there. And of course, I will link it below. It's likely on gray market sites as well. So I'll try to get you a good deal on this one, but it's maybe one of the crowd favorites for a reason. It has stood the test of time and has been in tropical video after tropical video year after year because it has this sophisticated, luxurious, timeless smell to it. Another crowd favorite that has made the rounds here the past few years, and you'll probably see it in a lot of videos this summer, again with good reason, from Giardini di Toscana, Bora Bora. Beautiful white floral with some yellow floral touches, key floral notes, tiara, jasmine, ylang-ylang, bolstered by, for me, what is a creamy, lovely coconut. And for me, it's like a perfumey interpretation of the coconut note rather than super duper literal, like you're scooping out of the shell. Musk and vanilla are key players. And then there are some sweet gourmandy notes in here as well that fool you into thinking that there's some sweetness here. They don't fool you. I mean, there is a little sweetness here, but it's a thick, heady white floral for the beginning of the experience. Those other nuances, the tropical nuances, start to come out after the opening, like 10-minute phase or whatever. Then you start to get those creamy aspects, the vanilla, a little bit of beautiful musk to add some intrigue. Some of the sweet notes start to play in here, and it's like the name, Bora Bora, tropical garden, beautiful smell and hard to beat. Another one that has pretty good projection and longevity and is a crowd pleasing fragrance. Perhaps my favorite in the category, and I just wish it had better projection and longevity. It's fairly soft on the skin. You know, you get about a half a day's wear out of it, but it's one of the most beautiful ones. And the balance of notes, I think, is just fantastic. From Kayali, Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21. I shunned this fragrance when it first came out. I think that was right at the height of the initial Kayali craze on YouTube. And I was in this like headspace where I didn't want to follow trends and craze. But friends, there are reasons that there are trends and crazes. And sometimes it's because the fragrances are really good. This is an example of that. That is a beautiful white tropical floral smell with just enough balance of the coconut and vanilla aspects and a little bit of musk to make this another beauty. Again, sounds so similar to the others. This one, I would say, is even more like a delicate, buttery nature than the others that I've mentioned. It's like cream on top of clouds and beautiful white musk, infused with beautiful, soft white florals, perfumey coconut. Again, this isn't literal like sunblock coconut smell. And it's just one of the most sophisticated tropical floral smells that I've come across. I adore this fragrance. I have it on my top shelf because it's one that I wanted to go ahead and deepen over time. I'll be bringing this one back down this summer and wearing it out. I'm about to hear on this fragrance. That's easy to do with Kayali fragrances because so much comes out of the mister. Beautiful. Maybe my favorite of the whole bunch that we're talking about today, just because it's perfect for me. It's got this delicate beauty to it that I think is just right up my alley. It's like just enough of the white floral, just enough of the vanilla, just enough of the musk, just enough of this interpretive coconut note that makes this fantastic for me. And I wish it lasted longer. And I wish it had just a little bit more punch as an overall fragrance to last more. And it's beautiful. I used to own this fragrance and I sold it. And then as I was putting this video together, I was like, this was a beautiful fragrance. What were you thinking? And, the thing is, you have so many of a certain kind of fragrance before something has to go. And I don't remember why this one went, but I do remember that it was beautiful. So I wanted to share it with you. It's Gastad Diva from Nobile 1942. Key players in here are true ylang ylang in a buttery form, an almost fruity frangipani note accompanied by a soft osmanthus, apricot nature to it, vanilla, and there are fruity notes in it as well. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't belong in here because of the fruity aspects of it, but it's got enough of that tropical floral flair and is one of the sort of lighter fragrances among the bunch in terms of like yellow florals can sometimes feel heavy, overwhelming, cloying if you spray a lot of them on. And this fragrance manages to stay happy and light even though it has a good heaping dose of vanilla and musk in the base as well, and is very, very pretty. If you're a Nobile fan, this is definitely a must try. It's a happy, fun, tropical floral fragrance. Definitely high noon fragrance, top of the day kind of scent that will give you all the good feels. It's interesting with the next fragrance, it has evolved over time and it smells different this year than it did last year for me. And I think I got it the year before that. So I've had this for about a couple of years. This is one of the classics in this category and is from fragrance Dubois Oud Intense. Definitely belongs in this category. I smell a little bit more of the pineapple in this fragrance than I have ever in the past, or something like a bright citrus pineapple note. Oh my gosh, this just gave me you all. I'm going to talk about this, or I have talked about this in another video, but the opening gives me vibes of the new Andrea Mac Muse, or rather, this gives me vibes of Ojon Intense. I've been trying to figure out what this fragrance smells like to me, Muse, because it reminds me of some fragrances from the past, and I hadn't thought of this one. Anyway, I sprayed a little here. This is not my fragrance of the day. I have a different fragrance sprayed on today. This is such a beauty. Another one, maybe this would be my top pick over the Kayali one. Maybe these two have to battle it out. Or if you wanted a more gentle version, I'd go with the Kayali. If you wanted the top tier, top shelf, punchy one, that has some edge to it, maybe Oud Intense is the one. This is so pretty, very creamy, another creamy yellow tropical floral. There isn't any coconut in this fragrance, but for me, it does have a significant sweet tropical creaminess. There are fruity notes, and maybe the fruity notes combined with something creamy in this scent is giving me that kind of deal. There's vanilla, white florals, ylang ylang, jasmine. Tiara is the keynote in here. So you have to love the tropical nature of a tiara note. If you have never smelled fresh tiara, I have many times when I have traveled, seen tiara and been able to put my nose up into fresh blooms. They're very creamy. They have a tiny bit of a sweet nuance to them, and they're just a tropical beautiful. I don't know how else to describe that. I do get a little bit of the pineapple in the opening here and more of the fruity aspects of this. This year, now it is called Oud Intense. I don't pick up anything oody here. I do pick up a little bit of a woody base to this that adds some substance, like a platform for the other notes to sit on. For me, this is all about the floral, tropical floral nuances with a little touch of sweet fruitiness to it. And another one that lasts a very long time. You don't have to spray a lot of this fragrance. A little goes a long way on this, and it smells very sophisticated. Of everything that I've shared today, I have an honorable mention that I want to talk about too. I would say Hibiscus Palm and Oud Intense are the most sophisticated, refined smells, if you want to use that terminology. The most realistic to me are Frangipani and then Bora Bora. The creamiest, deepest, strongest one is probably the gold, Donna born in Roma. The most playful one is Casta Diva from Nobile 1942. And then the more light interpretations that are sophisticated and delicate, but intoxicatingly beautiful, Lease 41 from the Labo, and then the Kayali one. So I do have an honorable mention only because this one can sometimes smell like the beach. It can smell like sunblock, but there's no denying that to me, it's a tropical floral fragrance as well. This is Ensoleille Moi. Ensoleille Moi, which I discovered as I was perusing the Anthropology website, if I'm not mistaken. That's how I came upon this fragrance. I like the bottle. I think it's kind of a cool look with the wraparound gold and the wood top. Anyway, this gives me like a tropical garden beachside vibe. There's almost some citrusy vibes on the opening. And then the heart of the fragrance, the majority of the experience is going to be tropical floral. So you have tiara and frangipani, and then there's a combo of creaminess that you're getting from coconut and from vanilla together, and a little bit of a musky backdrop, and there you go. White florals sitting on vanilla with a little muskiness and a little coconut. You get almost like beachy vibes, but also the heavy florals as well, and it's quite a beautiful fragrance and true to form. It's probably the truest in this category in terms of being like a tropical floral smell with a little hint of beachiness as well. Delightful, really, really a good fragrance. It would be hard for me to rank these or say what is my favorite, but I probably need to stick to my guns and say Kayali is my preferred choice if it lasted longer and had a little bit more depth, and then maybe Ujan Intense would be my primary pick. But gosh, these are all so beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this. There's so many fragrances that can go into this category. I welcome you to put your tropical floral fragrances down in the description box. Remember, I have a nighttime version of this fragrance category coming too, like your sultry evening resort fragrances that are great for date night, and some other summer videos coming up here soon. Hope to see you then. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Take care, friends.